Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. Here we are again, taking a look at Magikarp's Praxis midrange deck. So basically Praxis is just a mono time, usually splashing some decent fire cards. For the most part, it's always going to be Heart of Vault. But today, we bring you an extra innovation, which is the Jawbone Greatsword. So I'm uncertain whether this is just here because it's really going to turn the temporal matchups around a lot, because they've got a little bit of reach, as well as like 5 power is a lot. That's just going to kill so many things that are just an absolute nuisance. As well as, you know, sometimes it's going to like draw you a brand without fear, because you do get to attack, and with like killer Dawnwalkers, you know, you get to trigger tribute pretty easily. There's not too much to say here about Praxis, but if you are like a new player, perhaps, like Praxis is a really good place to start. You can start in Praxis tokens, move it up towards like this Praxis mid-range style, and from here you can just see like the core is very much just time cards, like time legendaries, time rares, all that sort of business, and then from there you can branch out into other stuff like Legion, you know, Xenan, which is like another really powerful time core. Maybe even like Combrate in the future when you've got like the actual Justice Mythics as well. But this deck's sweet. Let's take out a ladder, play a quick 5 games, and get to the wrap up. Okay, so on the draw, not a great start. Praxis wouldn't be able to play. Although we can actually steal the play back because we'd have like a bunch of power generators. But this is a redraw, and Triple Torch is just hurt me right in the heart, because I did lose the last match, I think, in my bid to get onto this test tournament to a Skycrow deck. I thought, okay, we're stabilised, we've got 3 cards in hand, don't mind, I'm just about to play a Rizan. Nope, Triple Torch to the face, dead. Oh man, it was a disaster. Well, this hand's sort of awful as well. I'm not going to do anything whatsoever for ages, but I'm just going to play this Tap Sigil out, grab a Fire Source. There we go, that is magic. So we've got a really merchant, which means we can turn 4 Worldbearer. Let's take a look what's in the market actually. Is there anything else we want? I think it might just be a case of grabbing... Oh, I've already got a Praxis banner now. Let's place Praxis banner down. So we've got like the triple fire and the quad time that we're going to need. So we are against like the JPS. I think this is Yachbite's deck. Oh, Yachbite was playing this on stream. This is one of the other decks I actually wanted to cover. So I suppose this is sort of, it's going full circle. Now we're going to see how good it actually is. And oh my goodness, I'm going to get absolutely smushed to death. Just trade Time Sigil. I think I'm actually just going to get a... Do I just get killer effects? Yeah, Carnosaur, because next turn I want to play Worldbearer Behemoth. If it sticks around, I want to give it killer with Z Initiation. If it doesn't stick around, I want to get a Predatory Carnosaur out there and just gobble up some of our friends. So this Berserk tells me that our opponent has got a Rapid Shot, which is just like the saddest little timeline for us ever. But this is going to save us, well, it's saving us 6 life. Plus it's behind a turn, which is honestly just awful. And I think we're probably just going to be a little bit too slow here. Like, we didn't see any of the torches or any of the purifiers, just to be able to buy us some time here. Oh, Real Guns Disciple as well. Well, Teach of Humility. I think we'll just Z-Initiation this. So a concern here is that our opponent's got another fast spell. In which case, whatever it is, if we try and kill the Real Guns Disciple, we're in big doo-doo. If we try and go for the Territorial Elf, we can kill it even through Fanny's Tower. If we kill Dust Raider, we can't. But I think as we're in such a bad position, I'm going to go for the 2-3. Okay, well, we'll get away with it. Because then, our opponent's going to get to crack us for 5 here, maybe more if they've got like combat tricks like... Okay, so now it's fine here, because we're just going to play like a bigger thing next. But now we're going to get to put big things that are able to block these. So this is actually not very good for us. I think we just want the Worldbearer Behemoth down, because then next turn we can go up to 7 power theoretically, which means we're able to play like a 5 plus a 2. But I think for the most part it is just going to be... Okay, so they berserked this, so we sadly need to block it. Hopefully we should be able to stabilize. Okay. So now we're at 6, which means we can put it to Carnosaur, kill this, and then now turn we get to block the 3-1. Because this is like a real problem. Sadly, we're dead to like any sort of combat trick or removal spell. I would have liked to have been able to have attacked with the Worldbearer Behemoth there, but just unable to. So we do get to eat this for effectively free, which is kind of nice. And then I think I'm actually just going to attack it. Would really like to spike like a time Waystone. Okay, well this is just as good because this draws us a card, which is nice. I mean, that was also sort of nice if we'd play the Alhed first, because at that point we get to just draw a 2/2. But I think as it stands, we're going to play Alhed down. I think we'll play the Trailmaker down just to 2/1. Let's grab Primal Source, why not? Then drop in a little ground in. So we're pretty insulated here. Haunting Scream kills us. Jump Kick kills us. Okay, so we've got Acquisitive Crow, which actually kills us. But we're just incredibly smart and thin, and we just draw like a Predatory Carnosaur. So how do we go about this now? Do we just crack in with the team? If we kill this, our opponent's got 2 blockers. They're 18, so they're just in like no... They're not really incentivized to be doing any blocks here. Well, let's go for this. Oh, and we get a Crest. Maybe we'll find a Heart of the Vault. So I'm going to bottom this Worldbearer Behemoth here, because if we'd have spiked a Heart of the Vault, that would have been great shape. So here we are. Good to see Alhed really putting in some work here. And what I think I'd actually like to do is maybe I'm going to put Carnosaur back on top. Yeah, let's put Carnosaur on top. Because then even if Alhed gets dealt with, that was an exhausted unit anyway. If Alhed gets dealt with, then like whatever, we're still going to draw like a 12/12 killer, which is going to kill whatever opponent's got, and hopefully we should be able to kill them. So yeah, I think that was actually like the heads-up play that is probably going to save us from a lot of the outside opponent might have otherwise had, although, of course, Haunting Scream and Jump Kick would have killed us. Okay, well, we're in the draw. If I wasn't the player, maybe tempted to keep this just because of the power of these 2 cards. But realistically, you know, we'd have to just like try and some sort of interaction or ramp. And this, it's not much better. Okay, so Echo Spell there. Oh dear. Well, we're just going to draw a 6-drop. Great, just when we're looking for a power. Just draw Dance Rotted. Well, Sea of Impulse is great here because not only is it a power, but it's going to fix our influence because we do have like quite tight requirements. We are requiring like double, and then at some point we need triple and triple. So our opponent is going to get to gobble us for 1 here and play whatever their free drop is, but I think most are fine here. So Seraph, like sure, but we are just going to play Dawnwalker here into probably a Titan. Teacher's just not doing anything here. I think if we drew a Merchant, I'd probably trade Teacher for a power here, actually. So Lingering Influence, this is maybe like a big Combre version. So, okay, so find the way it's like a bigger Combre version. I mean, realistically, this means that their hand is like 3 power cards. So, at this point, they play once, they've got 2 power cards, like 3 unknowns. So, not actually in that bad a shape. So, I think we're just going to try and pressure our opponent. They're unlikely to block here, just because, well, Dawnwalker's come back eventually, you know. It's not going to be yet, because Dawnwalker, you know, did get nerfed quite a while ago now to need like quad time. But it'll come back eventually, so opponents generally don't want to trade, but we do want to get damage in because we do need to kill our opponent before they're able to set up, because they do have access to Sword of Unity, which makes trying to fight through like just really difficult. So suspect our opponent's going for that. Because then if they play something else like I don't know, Desert Marshal or Mystic Ascendant, if they're able to get it to survive, which it will, you know, against our kind of deck. So what we've got here, we've got 3, 4, 5, so we can attack effectively for free here with everyone. And then we are just going to play Amber Waystone and the Alhed. So Alhed is good here because it means that like if we draw something that's a unit, it's going to get double power. If we draw something that's a power, that's also fine because we just get to like Carnosaur or Heart level. Oh dear, oh dear. So our opponent is getting nice. Miss. Good, good. That's what I wanted to see. Just the old Seraph lottery just missing. Completely missed like how effectively our opponent had managed to get up to 8. So if you draw a power, like I'm just going to use Kerasaur to kill this, but if you draw a torch, I'll probably just like kill one of these like power units. Just give our opponent a nudge with a little bit of an emote. But we actually have out to like an active Seraph in the late game in this deck because we've got that Jawbone Greatsword, so we can just like give our opponent a crack with that. But we'll just be ace-based with the team here, just like that's entirely my jam right here. Also, sort of unrelated to this video, I did just have a recording session with Phoenixton, so it actually worked really well. Unfortunately, I was unable to host that on Twitch, which is what I originally wanted to do. There's been really bad weather in our area, and I'm not actually sure if we're just being sort of throttled because I've uploaded quite a lot of data to YouTube, because these videos are generally quite big. Because I do try and get them up there in like the 1020 like HD. So is our opponent just like giving up with the rope? Or... Okay, so initiate the stands 2-2. Initiate, yes, taste it. Let's just get in with the team, I guess. There's no realistic blocks here that actually do anything. Like, so this is the 1-4 on the 4-1, but like whatever. Just going to set up a sort of more exciting next turn, just being really aggressive. Because of course, if our opponent gets to stabilize, I think they win just like 100% of the time because they can do things like flood the board with Great Parliament, which for the record should be a Huru card. And the only reason Great Parliament isn't is because it came in set 1. I was just like so tilted by that. And they've also got like the Sword of Unity. They're able to just put it on big things, but if we're just able to put them in a position where they're not able to put the big thing and they have to like spend 8 power just to try and roulette hit, maybe we can just like keep deploying to the board and go around it. So I think this turn might be just like Dawnwalker, Granite, and Initiate Sands, because this doesn't guarantee our 6 power, but well, probably just giving up. There's accepting defeat, which I'm glad of because these games can be difficult to navigate when you're playing as like a bigger version of a time deck. Just let Magikarp know that I'm actually using their deck. Maybe they can chuck me a few links and stuff so you can able to find their stuff, because they're actually a really nice inclusive streamer. I do enjoy sitting in their streams, and they played like sort of some pretty sweet memes as well. Like they've been working on this like sort of Stone Scar. Aside from this, they've been working on this pretty sweet like Stone Scar list. Well, our info's a great move. I've got 4, we've got 5 power realistically, so I want to play. Can we keep a 6-drop? Yeah, we can get away with just not keeping it, don't we? I do want to find like undepleted power just so I can make this on time. And if we do flood, which we'll sort of have a good idea of in like the next 2 turns, realistically 3 by the time I actually play the Aurelian Merchant. If we do flood, we're able to just like trade something like a power for something else. But we do generally need like 5 or 6 power in this deck. But as I was saying, Magikarp does do some good work. The streams are quite enjoyable. I do like generally cycle between them, Grimfan, and Yotbite, sort of like as my 3 streamers that I go and hang out with. So I guess I'm gonna hedge my bets here to play Seat of Impulse down, because Praxis Bar will be open at some point, and so Seat of Impulse. So this looks like it's actually temporal, which is a bit of a nuisance. I'm not sure how I feel about actually getting Thundering Kerasaur in this case, because they can just like 1-for-1 it, or silence it with Desert Marshal, block it with sort of like. So what do we do here? Let's burn this Seat of Impulse off. So I think I'm actually going to get Thundering Kerasaur. So it's not perfect, but it is going to hopefully trade for a card, and then we just get to do Sig Power plus this, just like grab whatever, doesn't matter. Actually, I need to turn streamer mode on my Discord. So it turned off because I was in a video call. Rain of Frogs is like fine. I assume they're going to take Jawbone Greatsword here. I have no idea how to turn this onto. Yeah, so you just like, here we go, streamer mode. Enable streamer mode. So streamer mode is actually a feature on Discord that is just super useful, because then you just don't hear the notifications, because even though I'm not actually streaming, it's probably just like an absolute nuisance for people at home. So what did they transform there? It was a torch. Guess that just means they've got everything covered. Well, Goblin for 1, I guess. So Temporal is probably just like an awful matchup. I'm going to keep the Frog. Just because we do have merchants in the deck, got 3 left, we can just trade it for something else. Although, if our opponent deals with this, it's going to at least draw us a card. So, what I'm going to do first is, I'm just going to like ambush check them with the Jawbone Greatsword. Okay, well it doesn't matter because they got the Vanquish anyway. But we do still get to like 2 for 1, our opponent here, which is kind of nice actually. So, we've got the market that's good. Nothing. Okay, good. Just my favourite bit to pay. So, boop. It's like opponent might marshal, but unlikely. But I'd rather just get our hit in. They'd probably marshal us to kill the Jawbone Greatsword. That seems like the smart thing to do. Equivocate here wouldn't be awful, because then we might get something with actual power and toughness. Well, this has got plenty of toughness, but actual power. Just like, boop. Yep, this is fine. I will trade for you Desert Marshal, because we've got Dawnwalkers in our deck. Yep. They got to kill our power, but like, whatever. Let's just make a nice balanced power base. I mean, there's sort of an argument for like going for like a random other faction because we can get equivocated into champions here, but it's just such a corner case, it just doesn't matter. Generally, yeah, so Temporal's got us good here because they've got to the point of the game where they're just like gain life, draw cards. So, we'd actually like an Alhed at some point here. So what we're here for just like another fatty is probably fine. So it's like wallop him. So yeah, so just a real merchant, just bin this frog. Just get a Worldbearer here for just if it gets to attack, even if our opponent has like a removal spell for it, we still get like a little bit of value because we get to put a power into play. If it's like a Crest, then we're just really happy. Realistically though, in this sort of matchup, we just need our Dawnwalkers. Yep, so this is fine. Puts us back 2 power back to 6, but we're just going to play our... Ooh, Teacher's good. I'll wait till there's like a lot more... I'll wait until we've run out of more resources. It's unlikely because now they're at the point of the game where they can start like channeling our stuff. So I don't think that'll be a plan. We don't actually have like anything like Disjunction in the market here where we'd be able to deal for Temporal, but I think at that point it just doesn't matter, to be honest. So I would like to draw something cheap. Okay, cool, so we get to do this. So Jawbone, just like wallop him for 5. Like if this gets like a Wasp or a Desert Marshal out of him, that's fine because then we get the Desert Marshal before we play our Teacher. Okay, cool. So I just want to trade 1 for 1 forever. Opponent can actually outcard us, so trading 1 for 1 isn't perfect, but I just really want to get a hit in with this Teacher because that'll make the game a lot easier. So they can actually just play Hailstorm here, just because I think, which is awful. They've also got Desert Wasp, or Desert Marshal, and Scorpion Wasp. But if we get to get this Waystone, it makes it a lot easier. So, yeah, for sure. So, they got us. Let's just play Dawnwalker. I am going to put the initiation on this just to make it bigger. Like, we're unlikely to ever need Killer against this deck, but just having, like, an additional point of power just saves our power. Just means our power isn't tied up next turn. And it means that like we can just play this if it gets dealt with, you know, we just get to play. Ooh, frog, cool. Can't remember what that was supposed to be now. I think it was Torch. It was like whatever. I was gonna play Temple Scribe. I want to use the Carnosaur traditionally just to get back like the oops. So getting notifications here. Good, good. I just want to use these like big fights here just to get back our Dawnwalker because you know, like establish one Dawnwalker. What I'd really like is just to find like a second one. So now, this can be a bit of a problem here in that I'm going to go for the Killer here because it gets a point to our opponent. Our opponent can then like Island's Choice and stuff like that, but we're just going to get our thing back and we're going to actually eventually just kill their power. So Rune Hammer is interesting here. We do get to kill it and we also get to bring our Dawnwalker back, which is nice. We have to trade like one of our things, but considering like neither of these cost us a card, because this one drew a card, so did this one. Let's Crest first though, because we'll find a Heart of the Vault. Bottom power, like no thank you. Kill Rune Hammerino. Okay, so leaving the frog around. I don't feel like that will kill us. So I could use Killer here just to like sort of actually definitely kill this. But then we could have done that first and kept our 1 power thing in place. So just going to get Worldbearer Behemoth up. I'm going to use this to kill something that would matter. So maybe if our opponent plays like Great Parliament here, we'll be able to kill like 2 of the owls at least, just with our 2 killers here, and then just like get him with the free attack. But also just like having this in play just to keep getting power out of our deck is just nice because, okay, we'll get Temporal Distortion here. The way this works is that, okay, so they're doing the ambush now. Yeah, so they're going for the Dawnwalker, that's fair. I'm just going to ace space here, just try and get as much damage in as possible, to be honest. Like, if they want to do something like, I don't know, instant speed harsh or like whatever, it's like, yeah, so here's the instant speed harsh. We're going to get our power out of the deal. They kill 2 of their units, and then they've got effectively no hand, but more power than us to deal with like a 6/6. In this instance, I'm going to keep the initiate, actually because we can draw a merchant, which would then turn it into like a Predatory Carnosaur. And if we do draw the Obelisk, like whatever, we miss some points of damage. Okay, so our opponent is excavating here. What are they excavating? Channel Tempest. Cool. So they've got 3 damage off that. Well, you're just getting 6th. Just like deal with it. For all the Granite, just I think we've gone through all like basically enough of our merchants where it doesn't matter. So opponent has to like channel us or the Granite. Yeah. So he gets Kraken for 7. They do have like all their influence, well, all their power open now. So I think the game's going to start to sort of spiral out of control here. I'd be super happy if we're able to just find like a Heart of the Vault. Just like top card of our deck, Heart of the Vault, just get in there. So our opponent is getting in the market again to grab. So I'm not sure what I can actually grab left that's actually good here. Maybe it's just something they put away before. Oh, okay, so here we go. Actually, I'm just going to Heart of the Vault our opponent. Draw card. Good, good. We've just got like infinite of our little initiate sands. I think at this point, we're actually just going to Dude Storm our opponent and just play map. I'm not going to play 0 cost because just to hide the information of what we've got here. Just maybe they think it's expensive, you know, so maybe they're going to wait for the fire off the harsh roll, but if they do have harsh roll, they have to fire off like as soon as possible. So they've grabbed the Moon Dial, so they get to draw a free card here, but we're going to get to draw a card too. Okay, so they drew Secret Pages. Not Secret Pages, they want to find the way. So just not very impressive, to be honest. Their grip on the game is going to become very apparent now, because they'll be able to draw like an additional card in their turn, and they've just got all the power up. But I've actually got through a lot of their interaction. So I'm going to crest it up first, just because we can try and find like another sort of Heart of the Vault here. But just wallop our opponent here for a good 9 points of damage. At the point where I'm happy just to chuck that out, just like whatever. It doesn't actually make any difference to the damage race here, really. If they kill this, we still get to crack them for 4 and then kill them the turn after. But double Hailstorms are now. Harsh Roll is definitely out. End of the Story is now as well. Yeah, so them drawing a card means that they get to see, like, theoretically get like an extra card as well, because where does Temporal give cards fast speed? So your spells are fast at start your turn, okay, so it doesn't matter where they are. So even if they get End of Story on top of the deck, it will be fast, which is pretty cool. So are they bottoming this? So I have to think here. So it might just be card draw. Okay, so they bottomed it in the end. Okay, so they wanted Wisdom, just have as much cards or just information as possible. Well, we get to kill them. Well, we attempt to kill them. I assume they're going to have something to say about this, like Channel Tempest Hour 6, or 6/6. Yep, sure. They're going to take 4 here. Okay, so we're going to Hailstorm. That's sort of fine, really. Could play Teacher. If this hits, we're at the point of the game now where opponent's got 26 power per turn cycle. Doesn't actually matter the weights on them, but it's just for us it means we get to draw a card. So the Aurelian Merchant has got a different idea of what's for. But if we draw our own Merchant, we get to turn this power into a Carnosaur, kill this, and just try and get our 3 points in the opponent. We do open ourselves up quite a lot to just being harsh rolled out, whatever. Let's actually look at the time in this game. Because generally, when I'm playing games and recording, if I'm playing against temporal, I might just concede a lot of the time. It's because the games can take like a lot of time. But I feel like this one, there's been a lot going on in it. Okay, we're at the channel me portion of the game where our opponent is just gonna, well, they're gonna try and just not care about this. I would go for this attack just because it's effectively free. It makes them perhaps. Yeah, so now they're going to go to 10, just like a million cards in hand. I'm just going to scoop this one up because I think it's pretty clear that they've got it in the bag. So, yeah, it's like a instant speed Great Parliament for 12 damage when we're at 10. So, yeah, you got it, Tiger. Well done. I won't miss when this deck goes away. Okay, well, we've got a hand where we do get to, like, turn 3 Worldbearer Behemoth, technically. We need things to go right, so we need to draw, like, undepleted power. So basically, another Waystone or, like, a Sigil for this to happen. Actually, it has to be exactly basic Sigil, doesn't it, because of the way the Impulse is going to work. I'd really like to keep this hand, just because of the power of, like, turn 3 Worldbearer Behemoth is just, like, absurd. So, this hand stinks. This is just like a problem you will get with like big ramp decks, is that sometimes you're just going to draw like 6/6, 5. It's like, oh great. Guess Feln. If this is like a Feln aggro deck, I'm sort of fine. Just because, but I'm happy to just block with the initiate at the sands. I'm like, okay, so this JPS. Is this JPS control? Like, it's 2018. I know we played it last week, but that's a different story. Actually, let's skip stop. We're not going to get anywhere. Just like got 2 power. Just yeah. If we draw power, I end up using the Aurelian Merchant like to find a banner. So I'll leave that game in, but it's not playing it out. I value your time and my time, and the fact that the channel's supposed to be here to entertain. Oh, here we are. So friend of the show, Ray Barker here. So actually, this hand's probably fine because our power's going to be all depleted, and we just get to turn any additional power into stuff because we've got the Aurelian Merchant. We get to make like a turn 4 Behemoth, turn 5 give it Killer, and then like use our other Aurelian Merchant to find something else. And then at the point where we've got like a Behemoth online, we just like never need to keep power for the rest of the game. So our point here is just like absolute gonna destroy us with the initiate. That's bottom's Granite Waystone, just like don't need it. Want actual juice here, so wouldn't mind finding an Teacher of Humilities. Yeah, that'd do. Nice little 2-drop just to play, just to keep this busy. Keep our opponent honest. So if our opponent gets a Teacher here, we could be in rough shape, just because we'd just be effectively have to get hit by it. So they might be going for Combray Student plus power. I'm just trying to figure out what they want to go with first. A concern of theirs is that, like, yeah, so that's like the play they were maybe having. A concern of theirs is perhaps that we do have torches in our deck, and they were just figuring out which threat they want to lead into it. But I was like, that's fine. You know, we've got like infinite power here, so I'm not incredibly like concerned. We don't have a way to kill the disciplinary weights, of course. Disciplinary weights is going to be a bit of a problem for us because our game plan here is going to revolve around getting like Behemoth, but this costing 7, like, you know, we've got ramp and spells here, so it should be okay. Okay, well, absolute genius here. We just drew a power, so we're not being too hit by this yet. So just dig us a little bit deeper to something a little bit real, but we do have to be concerned with the fact that right on time, Torch, right on time. So let us just get rid of banner because we just don't need it. So this will cost 7, which is a little while away. But just having this able to attack and start generating us power means that we'll be able to fight through. Just to open the blinds a bit here, it's getting a little bit dark. Oh dear, it's too bright. That just didn't help at all. Yeah, so the solder unit here is, that's awful for us. This is finest hour, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I sort of do want to get our opponent to use the finest hour. just because we do want to use a torch. Maybe we should have blocked. But we are also just... Ooh, hardball team. So I'm actually happy at this point just to grab a Z initiation. Just cost 4. But hopefully... So yeah, I should have actually blocked there, just let them use the finest tower here. Just like double block. When they use it, I will just use the torch. So like cool. Just let them act. The game life, it's fine. Our heavy end should just be able to deal so much power, or able to deal so much damage, it's not going to matter. Then of course we're just going to go to a bit where, like, if we do want to torch, like, we do it after damage, so that if they want to save this now, they have to use the finest hour, like, on their turn after damage, which just means it's like a trading 1-for-1, which is sort of fine, really. So what else can we do here? So we can use like Z initiation here, just like bosh this, but I think we're just not going to care. So hard the ball here means it costs 0 and it's going to cost 2 again, which is not optimal, I'll be honest with you. I'd be sort of happy here if we managed to get, yes, like get this vanquish out of them. They can't actually attack for everything here unless they've got something else like a trick, because we do get to block the crash ball, then we also get to block these, so it's just like rather futile attack. They do get to gain 3 lives, but that's not like that good, really. So I didn't notice if they actually kept the crest on top, which is something I should have been paying attention to, really. Just going to play Worldbearer out. We just get to give this killer for like the next couple of turns in a row, which should be pretty nice for us. So as you can see as well, like this sort of matchup, I don't think that the actual, oh dear. What are we giving plus power here? Are we just taking 7? Yep, we're taking 7. So, do we just get to have it all? I think we do. Let's bosh off this 4 cost and just grab a Carnosaur because we've got enough power to be able to do it. Let us use the one with the sort of summoning sickness here just to go for the first one here. Just get rid of Gentrix, and then we're able to do this, which will let us kill the 3/3 is actually a nuisance for us. Get our first power out. And I think we're actually going to play out the Granite here, just because then we get to triple block like this. I don't think it's going to matter because the attack does single block in each. So maybe I should have kept this just because if we keep it at that point, we get to merchant it away. But I've actually seen all the merchants, haven't we? Okay, so on the play, we do get to Teacher of Humility, which does help us get the 3rd power to be able to get the Aurelia Merchant, which does get us the Praxis banner, which then fixes our problems. But if our Teacher of Humility gets torched or suffocated, or our opponent just like plays a Diafang Spider, or just something that means that we can't get in, or we'll just miss on the disciplinary weights, I think our hand's just awful and we'll never recover. So I'm going to redraw this. But if I wasn't recording and I was just doing it for my own interest, I would definitely be just snapping off that hand. Just get the Seat of Impulse here. Hopefully just playing against like some sort of aggressive deck where it just gets a double torch. That'd be delicious. Oh yeah. Skycrag, Seat of Fury. Cool. I mean, if this is Kennedon's, I feel like with this hand we're dead. With the original hand, it might have done better. Okay, so. Okay, cool. I'm happy with this. Our opponent is concealing information because they played their Skycrag banner before their unit, so they have a torch, which I'm going to give them an opportunity to use. Because like, this is a really juicy torch target for them, because it puts me back on power. Like, they know I'm Praxis, like, whatever I'm up to is, yeah, so here's a torch. So our opponent was actually just able to conceal it because of the Skycrag banner, but because I've been here for 2 years, man, I know what's going on. We're able to sort of sniff a rat because we know what's going on. But yeah, generally what our opponent did is like a really good play because it conceals and it gave us a suspicion that they had it. I mean, what could have happened there is that they drew it after they'd have made that play. So then we figure like absolute geniuses, but like what really happened is that we just got next leveled and then they happened to draw the torch and it was just like, well, I'm going to use it because it's better than just like doing nothing. Do we just torch here? I think we do. Because this means if we draw like... I'll play out the 1-1 just because... So I was deliberately like not torching there, but I was just like, if we draw a 5-drop, it's awful, because then we just can't play our 5-drop, just let them have this 4-2, because then we can't block either, because if they have another torch, or like a rock slide, anything that we would block with would die, and that's just awful. So just kill the thing now, just while it's safe. I don't want to make a thing and then just like never block, that seems like awful. Probably going to use Predatory Carnosaur just to like kill this. If they're an absolute like mind genius, they could have like a torch in the board that they fetched to make this great, but it doesn't look like what we did. Also, I'm sort of happy to throw away that killer because we do have Z initiation. Okay, so Permafrost is good, but because we have the Z initiation, that means that like this Vadius here, I would still have something to do about that. So I'm not above this. This is my play. Just like boop, just kill your Vadius. Just keep going here. You know what? I think Primal's my favourite. Yeah, we'll get that. To keep the Seat of Impulse in play, because we do have merchants left in the deck. And we don't have access to our market. Like, there's absolutely nothing worse than if you didn't need to, just like playing something out. Like, this is fine. Just like obliterate our thing. We're at 20 on turn, 1,000,000 against Skycrack. I'm going to play that power out. Basically, that was the wrong power to actually even play. I'm going to keep Jawbone Greatsword, 100%. Because this can kill like another threat of our opponents. Not just in the market for just like, 5U. Yeah, so this is more like it. We take a lot of damage here. So we're going to take like 12 minus 2. So we're taking 10 damage just to deal with this. But it's dealt with. So it's obviously bad. But like, whatever. Just kill your big thing. And then I'm going to gain 2 lives again. Go up to 12. Sadly, we don't actually have a way to pop this Permafrost, which is actually just awful. What's this? Another Shogun Scepter? Ooh. Well, games took a bit of a turn here, and I think it's going to be very difficult for us to overcome. But Waystone's not quite it. Like, we've got basically a turn to draw either a Merchant or a Heart of the Vault. Just a space, mate. 4, 6, 8, 9. We go to 1. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to actually win here. Yeah, so that sounds like, oh, maybe we can get enough things into play. So kill this. Yeah, Praxis banner not it, so. I mean, that's the reason why we just played the long power before, because if we'd have drawn like a 0-cost torch, we could have been in the game a little bit. But yeah, just give the opponent a good game. Like, yeah, they played well, and they absolutely just like killed us. But yeah, Skycrack is still good. Yeah. Yeah, I was really impressed with that play they did with the actual banner. So, yep, onto the old deck tech, I guess. I think that was our 5 games. Okay, so here we are back at the Magikarp mid-range Jawbone Greatsword Praxis deck. And actually, you know, it just feels really good. It obviously has the problems that ramp decks do have, in that you can just draw a hand that's just like infinite ramp, or you just draw a hand that's just like, oh, great, just draw me 6 drops. But, you know, the deck just seems powerful and consistent. It's got merchants. It's just got actually 12 pieces of ramp. And 4 of those pieces, like the Aurelian Merchant, help you find things that will actually do something. So if you have an Aurelian Merchant and you've got power in hand, just like swap the power. Like, you just make a Worldbearer Behemoth on turn like 3 or 4, and you just like run away with the game. Worldbearer Behemoth is great as well, because it means that you can be more aggressive with powering, well, merchanting away power, because you've just got an endless supply of it. Like, you've already got the Behemoth in place, you've got a minimum of 5. You attack up to 6, you attack again, you know, you go to like 7 or 8, depending if you played a power. And then at that point, any of your merchants alive just have been like, drew a power, just never playing it, just put it in the market, and I'm just going to get like, I don't know, Thundering Kerasaur, just win the game with this 8-8 overwhelm. Anyway, I'm going to put links to Magikarp's stream and Twitter, so you know when they're actually streaming, just in the description below. But this deck's sweet. I feel it's got a lot of time for Praxis, and it's just like a really nice place to start. Obviously, it's got a few expensive pieces in it, like Alhed Mapbreaker, but you know, it's got a lot of staples of the format, like Aurelian Merchant, Sandstorm Titan,
And like Predatory Carnosaur are all staples really, and so is Obelisk. Yeah, and there's just things that new players should craft, like Crest of Impulse and the Merchant, realistically. But if you're new and you want to play a mid-range deck, build towards this. Start with Praxis tokens, and then just like build towards this gradually, and then you'll be able to branch out from there. But anyway, having that resolved, thanks for watching. I'll see you around.